How does one treat shoulder pain, shoulder or bicep tendonitis? How do you fix these problems? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you some ideas, but I'm not going to give you an ultimate solution. And if there's anything for sure that I want to make clear, because I'm getting a lot of interest with this little video series with injury and stuff, and I do know a lot. I do claim to know quite a bit and have a lot of experience, but I want to make it clear that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physical therapist, and I will constantly reference other people that know way more than me. But I'm a big believer that the person that cares more about your problem, more about your pain, more about your issue is you. There's no one that's going to care more than you. So it's really up to you to figure out your own problem, because it seems to be that finding a really good, reliable person, or I should say even having the resources and the money or be in proximity of some of these really great people is not always easy. Like if I had the money and I had unlimited time, I would go to San Francisco CrossFit, meet with Kelly Starrett, but he's so busy now. He's built his business so much, and he's kind of built his own little notoriety. And then also people down there, even there's some physical therapists there like Roop and stuff. So time getting down there is difficult, and then also I'm not dying. It's just really more about trying to further my goals in powerlifting. But kind of with that opening, I want to start off by a few videos, one video, one particular that was posted actually today, the 19th. It was Athlete X. I forgot the guy's name. He's a physical therapist. Typically does a lot of stuff with his shirt off, which is kind of annoying sometimes. I don't know. He's ripped, great, good for him, but I just don't like that. But my point of making that, mentioning that video, is that he has this really great video, shoulder pain, talks about the labrum, and one of the cool things he did say that was pretty awesome was that the labrum is like a suction cup. It kind of sucks it in. I was like talking to my previous video, talking about how the shoulder needs to be in the back of the socket, right? And the muscles of the rotator cuff pull it back into the socket. But it's not just the rotator cuff muscles, actually the labrum. I was talking about, actually I said like there's something in here like a bursa sac, and it's a labrum that keeps it in the socket, or one of the structures. Now, going into my opinion how to treat shoulder pain, bicep tendonitis, shoulder impingement, or bicep tendonitis impingement. Because when you say impingement, I mean it's basically anything underneath that acromion process that can be pinched in that section, and the bicep tendon is a culprit or possibility, and also the supraspinatus is almost most likely, if not also in addition to. Now, how can I start by this? Well, first of all, you want to open up that space, right? So that's what you want to do. That means having a good posture, pulling your shoulders back and down, having a good stable position. I'll have a link to that video with Athlete X talking about shoulder pain, because it's still very informative, and it will definitely kind of complement this video quite a bit. He talks about having your arms above your head when you're doing a pull-up position, and just a lot of things. And if you watch that video, feel free to comment on my video about it, because I think that's a really great way to kind of start a discussion. But the one thing I kind of want you to think about when it comes to to shoulder pain is the opening up that space, which means posture, right? If you already have pain and you have a problem and it hurts and it bothers you when you're doing stuff, it always kind of bothers you, like it's always in pain, like it always hurts, you got a problem. That's something that's just not going to go away. You're going to have to see a physician or a physical therapist to help you, because if it's hurting, you've already rested and you've been trying your best to rest, and it's not going away, then it's probably about that time you seek professional help. Like with my bicep, remember when my arm got really weak and started to fatigue? Well, it's been getting better progressively. So it's been getting better in a very positive direction. So I didn't see no need to seek anyone to get help. So I didn't worry about it. But if it did get worse, I would definitely go see somebody. So I would go out of pocket for it too. So that's the one thing to consider. But the thing to think about now is the thing I get from Kelly Starrett. He says a lot is test, retest. Test, retest. And this is something if you're not have a background like me, you're not a personal trainer, but you work out and you've been working out for a while and you sort of know your body, you have a sense for what is sort of a high risk exercise. Some overhead movement bothers you. You know that maybe benching, and with your elbows too far out or your hands too wide of a grip is going to give you problems. You already sort of know, or maybe low bar back squat gives you shoulder problems like that. It flares up a very similar problem. So you kind of already know, you already have a relationship with your pain. So it's kind of like you know what your high-risk movements are. Like for me, my high-risk movements tend to be repetitive, like for my knee, for example, repetitive jumping, squatting ass to grass, and forcing depth. That bothers my knee. So that, or has a higher risk of bothering my knee, especially at higher volumes. And maybe lots of pull-ups will bother your shoulder. But so test, retest, going back to what I was talking about. So you have test, retest. How do you fix that? How do you touch on that? Well, some things that I've tried that have worked quite a bit is simply rolling it. And one of the things that I've done, do I have a ball here? Yeah, I do. A lacrosse ball, press it against the wall. Actually, I have some space here. So I'll speak up loud. Sorry if you can't hear me. You get a ball, typically like a block. In this case, I'm going to use this. And you put the block against the wall, and then you simply push on the front of your shoulder, and you make little circles like this. Holy shit, that hurts. But that works a ton. If you lie on your back, you know, again, this is mobility WOD stuff. Lie on your back, you can kind of do the same thing using a barbell, pressing on it. You can have someone step on your shoulder. That I've found, as far as like a single bullet, it's like, oh, does it work? Doesn't work? That seems to give me like instant success. And if that doesn't work, I guess we should look at like, if I had impingement and it was bothering me, what would I do? Well, first I'd warm up and see if it would go away. If it still doesn't go away, I would still continue my workout and I would keep things light, try my best to prevent it from hurting, right? Second, if I want to sort of treat it and get it better, I would try my best to try to get it from not flaring up. One thing to understand, or one thing I understand when it comes to my shoulder pain and when I have impingement issues, is when that shit is inflamed and it hurts, it's going to keep hurting and it's not going to stop. You have to understand that, especially if it's sort of already radiating because it's pissed off. And there's really nothing you can do to make it hurt less other than stop doing stuff that hurts. If you're like coming back from a layoff for working on your upper body, and you had some time off already, maybe 3 or 4 days, or maybe you're coming back from a really bad case of a lot of shoulder impingement, and it still hurts, and it still kind of hurts, then you got to proceed carefully. But still, things you need to consider is getting that tissue and really breaking it up so that the tissue works better. So the other thing that I like to do also is getting around the shoulder. So getting the front and getting the side. I can't see, it's dark. So getting the front, getting the side, and maybe even getting the rear, but more so the front and the side. And what I also have found that has helped me a lot is just improving external rotation. And some of the things that help me improve external rotation is that one thing I showed you, but the other thing also is putting the ball against the wall here and then making circles like this. This has helped a ton. You put it right here at the junction point, or the base of the bottom of the shoulder where it connects to the arm, and then you just continue to just roll side to side, and I found this to work pretty good at improving external rotation. But if my shoulder is bothering me, it'll still hurt. Now, when it comes to bicep tendonitis, this is the true fact about what itis means and what tendonitis means. And this is my opinion based on my readings and experience, is that understand that itis means I don't know. I swear to God it does. It really does mean I don't know. We don't know why you're hurt. We just know you're hurt, and you're coming to see me to help you. That's basically what you see a doctor for. When there's an itis, and all you really have to do is they'll give you their experience. And what makes my experience so valuable for you is that I'm in powerlifting. I love to lift weights, and all my pain is related to what I'm doing. And if you do what I do, we're going to have similar problems. If you go to a doctor who doesn't lift weights, they will probably have a vast bigger knowledge than me, but they don't have the same experience as far as what to do to fix it, as far as for lifting at least. They'll know how to fix it if you have a serious injury. So I'm not claiming to be no more than a doctor, even though I made it sound like it. I'm sorry if I did. But really what it is I'm just giving you a different perspective. And that's kind of what you really have to look at. First step, for me, if I just talk about my shoulder problem, I would unglue the tissue, get that tissue back to normal. Get to a point where I basically, if you check back on my channel, I have this thing called Shoulder Mobility Week, and I swear to God, I did that every single day. I don't know if you guys remember, and my shoulders felt so good. And the only reason why I did it every day is because I said, okay, today is going to be Shoulder Mobility Week, and guess what happened? I felt I could get the bar behind my man. It was freaking amazing. I just think about it. But then I have no motivation to do it, so I probably need to do that again. Shoulder Mobility Week. So soft tissue work. Not mobility can be clumped in with soft tissue work, but understand that soft tissue work is not necessarily mobility. All it is normalizing tissue. You're tenderizing meat, I guess, right? And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get the tissue back to normal, right? Make it pain-free when you roll it with a lacrosse ball or any type of kind of massage device. And then what else is there? the next thing. So that's just the actual site. So if you already have acute pain and it's already existing and it kind of hurts and it kind of bothers you, that's what you need to do. You need to work on that pain. The second thing is looking at opening up your chest, and sometimes stretching helps a lot. Stretching your chest helps a lot. You already know some chest stretches. You just need to do them. But then also rolling out your chest, your pec minor. So like I showed you with that ball, keep putting this ball away, and then you put it right here in the pec minor, pec major. You press against the wall. That helps a lot, because ultimately it's really the chest muscles that cause your body to round forward, which shrinks the space up front, which increases the likelihood of impingement, but not necessarily the cause of impingement. So it's almost like you're just trying to, like these just little check boxes, like a rounded upper back. Let's get rid of that rounded upper back. Crappy tissues, let's improve those crappy tissues. Weak external rotation, let's improve that external rotation. Weak internal rotation, improve that internal rotation. Lacking range in internal rotation, let's improve that range of internal rotation. Everything still hurts, that shit's pissed off, you're just going to have to take a break so that stops hurting. And I hope that was useful for you, at least that perspective. I like to talk more, and this video keeps getting too long, so I can't make them these long. So if we have more on this, I'm going to talk about the knee on the next when I get back into the injury again, talking about pain. But I will leave a very valuable link in the description. If you made it this far, you deserve this little gem. It's an article by Fitocracy on shoulder impingement, and it's really good because it's actually much more geared towards advanced people who have advanced injuries or advanced pain. Specifically, he talks about pitchers, but it's really good because what's going to end up happening is it's just a really good article. Read the article. Link will be in the description, and if you have a question, leave a comment below. I swear I'll help you on it. It's really good. And yeah, thanks for reading. Subscribe, share my channel. Trying to grow, trying to make it happen. Thanks for watching.